NLP TV presents a hostess's guide to treats for the holidays, and here with the recipes for those festive treats is your host, Kaylin Burgess.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our part of our 6-week series and teaching you how to make your holidays really special and make those festive events just as good as they can be. Today we're starting out with our cookie surprise brownies. Now I've already got all of our dry ingredients in the bowl just to make it a little bit easier. But for you at home, you're going to want to gather about 3 cups of white sugar, 1.5 cups of flour. You're going to want to use a cup of the unsweetened cocoa powder because you don't want to overpower your brownies, especially since we're adding that cookie surprise. And then you're going to want a teaspoon of salt too, because that's going to kind of balance it out as well. Since we've got all that already in there, we're going to go ahead and start adding our things to make it mix. We've got 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Some people prefer to use butter. It's really your call, but if you do use butter, you're going to want to use just a little bit more butter than you would vegetable oil just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that just a little bit to get it in there good. And then you're going to use 2 eggs. And make sure you don't get any of the shells in there because nobody wants a crunchy brownie surprise. That's not fun. All right, and once you've got that in there, you're going to want to get that really good and mixed. You want to make sure that you don't have any of those surprise batter balls. You don't like to bite into a brownie and still taste the batter that hasn't been mixed well. So just make sure you get it good and mixed. No powder on the side of your bowls if you can help it. And make sure you mix from the bottom too, because as you're starting to pour, you might notice that there's a little bit of dry still in the bottom that you haven't mixed in well with your eggs and your vegetable oil. All right, now we've got that good and mixed. We've got nothing in the bottom. So we're going to set that to the side, and now we're going to add our cookie surprise. For our cookie surprise, you're going to want to take a baggie of chocolate chip cookies. You can buy store brand, you can bake your own, but you're going to want them to be crunchy because they're going to bake to soft. I like to use the small ones. I think that they just grind out a little bit better, but you're going to want it to equal about 1/2 cup once they're ground. So I usually just take a rolling pin. Some people prefer to use the like a meat cleaver or something and pound it out. It's really up to you. You're going to want to crush them first. It's a little bit of a process, and you want to put something under it. You can use either a paper towel, you can use a cutting board, just something in case your bag busts, you don't get it all over your counter and you can still save the cookie. All right, got it pretty much ground. And then from there, I just kind of take it and I smush it down, and I try to smush it with my hands just to make sure those big pieces are kind of alleviated. All right, seems good. All right, we're going to bring our mix back. We're going to open up our bag. We're going to add our cookie pieces in. We went ahead and mixed the batter before we added our cookies because it's kind of hard to tell what's a cookie and what's a batter ball whenever you're doing your original mixing. And if you see any cookies that aren't quite broken up enough whenever you open up, it's hard to tell in a bag. Just smush those with your hands because you don't want any that are too big. And you're going to mix those in well too. The reason we add the cookies, not only for flavor and just for something a little bit different, is so that your brownies stay moist. Everyone's gone to a party where they've had brownies served and they're dry and gross and you don't know where to hide them. You don't want to put them in somebody's ficus, so you have to swallow them down. We don't want to have to do that, so make sure you do something to make your brownies not really dry. All right, so we've got it good and mixed. Then we're going to want to grease our pan. Just take your pan. I'm using a little bit of a bigger one right now. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, I'm going to show you how to grease your pan so you make sure that you don't miss anything on the edges. Y'all stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hi there. How can I help you today?
My dog needs a bath. I'm in a hurry.
No problem. Quick quality pup grooming is our specialty.
Wow, she looks great. That only took 10 minutes.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Stop in for quick quality grooming for only $20. Open Monday through Saturday.
guys, and welcome back. If you didn't catch us before, we had just mixed our cookie batter brownie, and we've got our cookies in there, we've got all of our dry ingredients, all of our everything else, and we're just about to start greasing our pan. Now I have a little bit of a method to it because I don't like my brownies to stick to the bottom. I don't like any of my cooking to stick to the bottom. So you're going to want to use a good pan, possibly Teflon or something that already has a stick resistance to it. And then you're going to want to take just some nonstick vegetable oil or something like that, and a spray is easiest. And you're going to make sure you get the corners first, and then just spray it evenly throughout the pan. It's okay to overdo it because of what we're about to do. And then I always take a paper towel, and I just run it along the inside so you don't have too much grease, because then that becomes gross too. But this allows you to make sure the entire pan is greased without having to worry about the spray dripping, without having to worry about missing spots because it's hard to see. And then throw that away because it looks really gross. All right, so we've got our pan greased. You can't really tell, it's really shiny though, but it's greased all the way to the top. Even though our brownies aren't gonna be there, you're gonna want it so when they rise a little bit, even that top part's not gonna stick. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and add our mixture in. You're gonna wanna go ahead and do the initial first little bit. Kind of sticky because of the cookies, and then just evenly put a layer down. The brownies make it a little bit harder to spread. All right, and then you're gonna get the rest. You don't want to miss any, especially if you're doing this for a party or for gifts. You want to make sure that everybody's fed. Ladies, I know you're always trying to make sure everybody's taken care of, so make sure you get every last little bit. All right, so what you're going to want to do is just make sure it's evenly spread throughout the pan. I'm not going to continue. Everyone should know how to do this at home. Just make sure, especially, you'll see how I've done it in this one corner. Just make sure you get the corners all the way done, and then it's an even layer so that it's easier to cook with. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. And I've got a small pan that I've already cooked for us. And these came out of the oven just a little bit ago, so they've had time to cool. But if you'll notice along the edges, I've already cut a little bit so that they're easier to come out. I just took a small knife like this, and I'm going to do it again right before I cut them. You're going to want to just run along the edges because it doesn't matter what kind of pan you use. It doesn't matter what oven you bake it in. You're always going to have a little bit more crunchy on the outside of your brownies. And then once you've done that, you can start just making as even as possible little squares. I have a small pan that I'm using for this, so my brownies are going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I like the bite size. You're just going to make them like this. I'm just going to cut a few. And then to make your first little cut, you can just use your knife, get the one brownie up, and you see how they don't stick because we use that in the corners. So you should be good to go there. I like to make different little things with my brownies. As you see here, I've got our little display. Some of our crew members took some, so I apologize that we don't have quite as much as we started with. But we've got our cookies here and our brownies. This just makes a nice display for parties. You can use it for birthday parties. You can use it for holiday parties, whatever you like. Of course, this is for Christmas. Then also have small little boxes like this. I like the Oriental boxes just because they're fun. They're a little bit different. And you can use these to send with your kids to school. Just put the brownies in there. I like to use tissue paper or something to outline them. That way they have something to unwrap, and it just seems a little more fun. So, you can do that. I also like using the boxes. These are good to give just family friends. They're good to have around. A lot of times we forget people around the holidays, so it's good to kind of keep some of these maybe with you in your car. Take a few extra to work. That way if someone walks up, you can say, "Jenny, I did not forget you. I've got some brownies for you." And then they feel special because everyone likes something home cooked. So you can do this. You can put some brownies in there. Make just a cute little display here. You're going to want to fill it up as much as possible. Just for now, y'all see we can do that right here. Alright, and then that makes a cute little display. Then we also have our peekaboo boxes right here. Those are a really good idea. They just look cute. It's good presentation. But no matter what you do, it's going to be really fun and really exciting. And I hope y'all like the recipe today. Make sure you tune in next week, and that way we'll get a good recipe going for you. Thank you guys for coming. We really enjoyed it.